Hello and welcome. In this video, we will talk through how best you as a teacher and your school community can support children and young people who are enrolling in your school following their arrival in Ireland. In keeping with international best practice, NEPs are not recommending counselling or psychological debriefing at this time. We are recommending the use of the Hobfoll psychosocial principles, and in this video, we will provide you with practical ways to apply these principles in your school. These will promote a sense of safety, calm, connectedness, and hope for those impacted by traumatic events. We also recommend a psychological first aid approach. The main goal for the school community is to make every child and young person feel welcome, to encourage friendships, to reduce language barriers, to make sensitive assessments about learning, and to support their well-being. You need to put yourself in the shoes of the children and young people so that you can understand what they need to adjust to their new school. Many of you have visited places where you have not spoken the language and know how stressful it can be when trying to communicate your basic needs. Let's listen to the voice of our international children in their new schools as they tell us about their challenges.
Put yourself in my shoes.
If you want to speak a different language to me, so I don't understand.
I don't know what is happening. Why is everyone standing in a line?
What is that noise? Am I safe or under attack? These letters don't make sense to me and I don't know what to do.
I don't understand, but I am clever. I wish that you knew that.
Everyone is so friendly, but I can't remember the names.
Life before Ireland. Children and young people arriving in our schools have had different experiences and will respond to traumatic events in individual and personal ways. All will have experienced separation and loss. Most will have dealt with frightening and stressful situations. Some will have experienced grief. Others may have been vulnerable prior to the events that brought them here. Each will respond to traumatic events in individual and personal ways. They will need time to settle and adapt. Many will be resilient, but for others recovery will take longer. All will have well-being needs. For example, children and young people in your school may appear quiet or hypervigilant or tire more easily. This is an expected response. However, giving the children and young people time and space and access to supportive relationships will help them to adapt. Hobfoll's principles were developed by Stephen Hobfoll and colleagues, who reviewed research on factors that supported adjustment after traumatic events. Each principle is interrelated. Promoting one will have a ripple effect on the others. For example, helping children and young people to feel safe in a calm environment will help build trust, which develops relationships and promotes a sense of connection. This will provide a basis to develop a sense that they can do what they need to do. In other words, a sense of efficacy. All of this will contribute to a sense of hope. Some will also present with pre-existing additional needs that may or may not yet be identified and/or documented. These may include communication, physical, sensory, learning and health needs. These same principles apply for all students arriving in Ireland. Adaptations may be required. We will help you with this throughout the video. We can develop and learn when we feel safe and have supportive relationships. Use digital translation tools to explain tasks. Also use video clips, visual and audio signals such as bells to communicate routines and increase predictability. We will look at some ways of using visual supports. Signal changes to routines in advance to let them know what to expect. Use buddy systems and peer mentors in schools to help students navigate the physical environment of the school. Share information with parents and carers on extracurricular activities that are accessible and free or low cost. Be alert to things in the environment, for example, sounds that may be triggering.
Consider curricular content that may be distressing or triggering. Pre-warn them and offer an alternative option. Visuals are helpful to children and young people with a wide range of needs and abilities. Some examples include bilingual picture labels on objects in the environment, staff and student photographs, colour coding of pupils' or students' timetables or books, welcome posters, visual schedules showing the sequence of activities in the day, now, next, then boards, visuals to communicate basic needs, yes, no, toilet, break, help, talking mats. These are mats where visuals can be moved around and sorted into groups to communicate likes and dislikes. Social stories. Carol Gray's social story team have produced useful templates for you to formulate your own social stories. A link will be available in the resource section at the end of this video. Be aware of your own emotions and model calmness through a relaxed body language, a quiet tone and a slow rate of speech. Regulation exercises help everyone to calm their bodies and bring emotions under control. We will take a closer look at practical regulation activities you can integrate to your classroom in this video. Identify calm, quiet areas for children and young people. These may include bean bags, a library area, or a sitting space. Keep checking in and reassure them. Establish daily rituals, as simple as greetings and goodbyes and check-ins. Visual systems signal expected behaviours, e.g. where to line up, and one-way systems. Cue cards will provide support to communicate feelings. Remember to validate and normalise feelings. Sometimes just sitting with children and young people in distress helps them to contain the emotion and remain calm.
Building whole class regulation activities into the usual lesson plan benefits everyone. Practical regulation activities include breathing exercises, grounding exercises, connecting with nature, movement, and sensory activities. Closing eyes, mindfulness, meditation, and body scan techniques are not appropriate for those who have experienced trauma, as they can be triggering. Visuals are used to support children and young people to feel a sense of calm, for example, a break card and a prompt for deep breathing. An emotions card can help the students to express their feelings. Helpful visual resources are listed in the resource section at the end of this video. When children and young people feel connected, it fuels empowerment, self-efficacy, and hope. And it supports children and young people to feel calm and safe. All of this improves educational engagement. Ensure that you can pronounce the names of your pupils and your students. Prepare classmates to welcome the new arrival. It may be helpful to identify a key adult, a special education teacher, a guidance teacher, or a form teacher, to take the lead on getting to know the child or young person and building a trusting relationship. Use simple, slow communication. Digital tools can help here. Create a rota for the buddy systems to enable connection with others who speak their language, as well as those who do not. Establish ongoing home and school communication to keep parents and carers informed.
Translation apps, such as Microsoft Translator or a communication board, are a great resource in the classroom. More apps are listed at the end of this video. Some children or young people with additional needs may prefer to use talking mats or visual choice boards.
Self-efficacy is about the school community looking out for and supporting one another. This gives us a sense of empowerment, purpose, optimism and hope, all of which protect and promote well-being. Provide space by giving children time to talk about or draw their experiences if they want to and are ready for this. Children may express their anger and frustration. This is understandable, so try not to take it personally. Provide a variety of creative activities such as art, music, sport and drama, as these all provide spaces to express their feelings and deal with their emotions. Keep the focus on their strengths. Find out what the child or young person can do and is good at, and acknowledge effort and achievement. Create opportunities for them to demonstrate their skills, remembering that some will like being in the spotlight, whereas others will not. Provide choice of activities and ways of engagement to allow them to exercise control in the school environment. For example, they may choose to engage in artwork to express their emotions rather than speaking about them. Promote independence and support them to experience success by scaffolding them, by providing direct instruction, modelling of tasks and breaking tasks down to help them adapt to a new school environment and communication needs. In your classroom interaction, maintain a calm, supportive and regulated environment because you are a role model for the children. Teach compassion towards each other. Monitor how the incoming students are settling in. As we mentioned before, the recommended support for those experiencing distress is psychological first aid, which can be accessed on gov.ie. Self-efficacy for students who may have additional needs requires a focus on communication and promoting independence. With this in mind, use translation tools as previously mentioned. Ask parents how their children communicate and whether they were previously assessed. This will help you to decide whether communication needs are due to English as another language or a communication and speech and language issue. Pupils and students who are pre-verbal should have access to alternative communication systems such as textbooks, augmentative and alternative communication devices. Visuals should go from most concrete to most abstract. Real objects are the easiest to understand, for example, holding up a copybook or coat, to the written word for copybook and coat. A great resource to help with this is the Autism Good Practice Guidance, and a quick link to access this is provided at the end of this video. Give short, clear instruction supports with visuals, objects and gestures. Minimise the amount of information on worksheets and translate key words. Break down tasks into small steps, for example using a checklist of steps. Check in with the pupil and student regularly. Remember that the learning tasks and activities may be new, so give them time to observe them first and join in at their own pace. It can be helpful to show a "here's one I made earlier" example when explaining tasks so that pupils and students understand what their end goal is. Scaffold tasks by adapting and translating materials, providing a completed model and using visual supports. Give pupils and students time and space to understand instructions and respond. Do not step in too soon. Support students to communicate when they require clarification or wish for an activity or interaction to change or stop. For example, asking for help or a break, as this can promote their sense that I can cope. Hope is essential for well-being. The idea that things will get better is what motivates and keeps us going through stressful times. Children could have a hope to make a friend, to be able to complete a piece of work, and bigger hopes could be to return to their homeland. School provides a respite from the war, a place to be a child and not worry about bigger problems. So it is important to foster positive emotions such as joy, humour and interest. Tell them that it's okay to participate in activities that are fun, such as re-engaging with hobbies. Teach helpful thinking styles such as a growth mindset and coping strategies to help them manage challenges. Acknowledge and praise their effort and their progress made with an expectation for continued progress. Instill hope using strategies such as positive self-declarations to help the child or young person envisage or express positive future outcomes, such as I will learn English. I will make friends. I will be okay. For those who need more concrete support, use visuals or choice boards so that the pupil or student can communicate one thing they enjoyed at school that day and one thing they would like to do the next day. Whether in mainstream schools, special classes or special schools, teachers are skilled at observing, identifying and responding to the needs of all pupils and students. Use the Continuum of Support Framework and Student Support File to gather information, plan intervention and monitor the progress of incoming students who may have additional needs. This should include information from parents and the student. If additional services are required, you may need to work with the parents to make contact with the HSE and TUSLA. Where specialist placement is required, contact the local Special Educational Needs Organiser or SENO, who will support parents in finding a suitable placement. Where professional reports are available, the National Council for Special Education will arrange for their translation. Further information is on the resource slide at the end of this video. Use this template to help you apply the Hobfoll principles in your school. It can be found on gov.ie and is titled Hobfoll's Principles of Psychosocial Support. The children are living with uncertainty, but so too are you as educators. These strategies will be helpful for children and young people, but also for teachers. Be aware that some things are out of your control, for example, world foreign policy. Situations are constantly changing and evolving. Practice acceptance. Change is constant. Reduce anxiety and stress by practicing good self-care. Limit your exposure to negative social media and news, and focus on the present and use your strengths. It is important to look after your own self-care needs. The free Employee Assistance Service is available through Spectrum Life. This is a self-referral service that provides easy access to confidential counselling and assists with personal and work-related issues. Helping young people to settle in school is an ongoing process. Not all young people are the same. Please know that NEP psychologists are available to assist schools with how to best support well-being at this time and can be contacted at their local NEPS office. NEPs have developed a suite of resources to support children and young people's well-being, and we will continue to provide guidance to support schools to meet emerging need. Another useful support is a short self-paced e-learning course called Introducing a Trauma-Informed Approach, the Stress Factor, Getting the Balance Right. This course focuses on stress and its impact on learning, behaviour and well-being. Further details are provided at the end of this video. Embracing diversity provides training to look at cultural and linguistic diversity in your school today and the importance of promoting inclusive education. IDGA also have a suite of resources that guide schools in how to address the language needs, and further details are provided at the end of this video. You can access free training from IDGA called Fostering an Inclusive Culture in Schools. IDGA also have developed a very helpful online Padlet of resources shown here. Quick links will be provided at the end of this video. This video has given you the tools to welcome children and young people to your primary and post-primary schools. And these are the key take-home messages. Extend a friendly and warm welcome. Link with the families to gather and communicate important information. Have one key adult as the school's link with the family. Learn key phrases and practice new names in advance. Use visual schedules, visual cues and e-books and tours to communicate the routine of the school day. Download and use translation apps to help with communication. Prepare peers for the new arrival and guide them on how to make the young person feel welcome. Set up buddy systems, language ambassadors and mentors. Manage the learning demands as the young person adjusts. and reassured them that the school is a safe place and communicate reassuring messages.